What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have massive unboxing number 37 for you guys, the Summer Haul Edition. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we have a very exciting massive unboxing in store for you guys. The summer was so cool, and we have so many cool stories to get into with all these planes. So I really hope you guys are excited for this. And I'm joined here today by
planespotterdk.
So yeah, really excited for today's video. He'll have some fun input here for today's video, and I hope you guys are excited for this. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, so let's go ahead and get started with today's massive unboxing. So what a summer it was. Of course, I got my fair share of pre-orders and everything, but this is more of like the actual model stores and places that I went to, which is really cool. So it is going to be really cool to talk about each and every story from every one of these models and why I chose to get it and where. And also, planespotterdk will be happy to tell some of these stories as well, as he actually brought 3 of these home for me. So how nice of him to do that. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start right here with the GeminiJets, a 1:400 scale Air Canada Express Bombardier CRJ-900. So this came from Flight City near the Vancouver International Airport. Really great store. I can't recommend it enough. I'll be sure to play some B-roll on here so you can see what it looks like. But really awesome selection of models and also some really great deals, as we'll see throughout the next couple aircraft. So I can't recommend that store enough. It's absolutely great. And I chose to get the Air Canada CRJ-900 because obviously being in the Canada area for the first time, I really wanted something to represent that for sentimental value. So that was the main reason I chose to get this. But it's also a pivotal asset. You know, it's a really diverse aircraft, and I'm really excited to utilize it in various ways. So let's go ahead and get started with the Air Canada CRJ-900. GeminiJets made for collectors by collectors. Here's the aircraft itself, CRJ-900. Here's the Air Canada logo. I personally think the Air Canada livery looks really good, and feel free to speak in on livery or anything if you want to as well. As you can see, there's the Flight City sticker. $54.95 is Canadian dollars, so this is about 43 in the US land. So really good indeed. Yes, absolutely. So very excited to get into this model, really good one. Sorry about the box damage, it had to come back in a suitcase. So I'll talk here in a minute about how all these got back, but nevertheless, 2022 release here by none other than GeminiJets. Here's the pamphlet and the aircraft itself. I'm thinking maybe like September or something, August maybe, I'm not completely sure. But nevertheless, here's the aircraft itself, yet again, another really good one. And here it is, as the horizontal stabilizer is down here, but that is all right. We will certainly recover from that. But here it is right here, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, here we go for the GeminiJets, a 1:400 scale Air Canada Express CRJ-900. Really good looking aircraft. Horizontal stabilizer is what it is. It's all good, but nevertheless, really excited to dive into this aircraft. We have a bunch to go into here, and I'm excited for it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, guys, so here we go. So starting right here, we have the cockpit windows right here, and of course we have some applicable pitot tubes, inspection panels, all that fun stuff. Then you have the nose landing gear, door and nose landing gear right here. We'll see if this ever gets any evolution here in 400 scale, considering that it's not quite as detailed, but with how small it is, it's going to be interesting to see how that progresses. Here's the L1 door right here, and the Starlines logo should be somewhere along with the operated by Jazz titles, so that looks really great. And then of course you have the Air Canada Express titles right there, and they have a couple first class seats I think on here, so glad to see that, along with their main cabin ECHTA and economy products, so looking good there. 2 baggage loader doors right there, that's absolutely fantastic. Go into the middle section here, of course you got the emergency exit for the 2 overwing exits, which is great. Then you have some really great wing detail for a CRJ, that's really good there for the red dots, along with the flap slats and speed brakes. Really cool to see on the inside of the winglet. You have the maple leaf right there, which is great, and the registration is Charlie Golf Juliet Alpha November. Then you have the 2 engines right there as well, along with the baggage door there too. And then you're supposed to have the horizontal stabilizer right there. I apologize about that again. I'm thinking it's shipping. I don't think it was on Flight City. I think it was shipping that got it. It was ended up going in a checked bag, so I'm presuming that was what happened there. But of course you got the maple leaf right there. It looks great on this livery, along with the APU and all the other applicable detail. I'd say the aircraft very similar. You don't have the baggage doors on this side. That's the only main difference, but we do have a horizontal stabilizer, which is of course very nice. Top of the aircraft, very standard, just your standard details right there, nothing too crazy. In the bottom, you got the maple leaf, GeminiJets logo, all that fun stuff. So again, this is the second release. GeminiJets did one, I think 2017, with the landing gear close to each other, but this is the 2022 release, which is absolutely awesome to have. Really glad to have this one, excited to see how I can use it. But yeah, I was kind of thinking about this while I was talking about the model. This is a really good aircraft to get during this time of the year because, or you know, during this summer, because I got to see it in San Francisco, Vancouver, Calgary, everywhere, which was really cool. Chicago O'Hare, so got to see it in Seattle, I think, too. So in many different places. So it was really cool to get to see it many times this summer, in a really special meaning and a really good looking plane. Dylan, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. I like the livery on there, and unfortunate about the horizontal stabilizer.
We'll figure it out. Alrighty guys, next in line right here we have the Phoenix models, 1:400 scale, Boeing 737 MAX 9 house livery. So really cool model here. So this was at Flight City as well, and I ended up getting a very good deal on it, and I'll show all of you why here in a moment. But to go along with this, the reason I chose to get this aircraft was because I got to go to Seattle, or Everett Field that is, and man, the Boeing plant there, it speaks for itself. I'll put some more B-roll on there, but from the 777Xs to the 737 MAX 10s, and that includes Boeing Field too, but particularly Everett Field especially stood out to me. But this aircraft, I guess, really does relate more to Boeing Field. But between both those fields and all the Boeing activity going on there and everything, really special place to go in Seattle. I highly recommend it to any aviation enthusiast. There was some sort of Iran 737 MAX taking off. That was really cool. Just really, really great stuff. And the 777X landed. I literally saw it in the reflection of the gift shop, and it was rolling up. It was so funny. But nevertheless, really cool plane to get here to represent Boeing Field and Everett Field. This is great, and it worked out great because I literally got this model like 3 days after I was there. So it speaks for itself. Really great plane here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Boeing 737 MAX. Here's the aircraft right here. Phoenix logo, registration November 7379 Echo. You got the backdrop right here. Really standard box here for Phoenix, nothing to write home about, but also pretty great. So the reason that I ended up getting a good deal on this, so this was originally 63 Canadian dollars, that would convert out to like 55 US. This ended up being, I believe, half off, so 36 would turn into like 29 US dollars or something, because there is a missing tire, but it's just a tire, and I'll show you how I plan to fix this. So can't believe I got 50% off for that slight defect, but you'll see here in a moment. Officially licensed by Boeing, all of the above, the whole nine. Really great to see this, and I'm excited to get into this. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's the aircraft, really great model. Let's go ahead and take it out right here. So here's the aircraft itself. You can see where that piece of the gear is gone, but it's only just one tire. It's not like a full gear axle. It's just the one tire, which I thought was an exceptional deal because I can put this right in here. At least I'm going to attempt to, if I can even see what I'm doing here. Gosh darn it. Let's try this again. I'm going to put this into the hole here. Come on, are you serious? Okay, so as every one of you can see, now that it's in there, it's just that one tire. So I don't know if I'll use like an Aero Classics tire, use a different plane. Whoa, nose landing gear, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? There we go. Fixed the nose landing gear. It was trying to bend on me. It looks, whoa. Is it really that? It's, okay, it is supposed to be that tall. Okay, yeah, nose landing gear certainly threw me for a loop there, but nevertheless, this is looking really good. And let's get it back on the screen so every one of you can see it. Alrighty guys, next in line right here, we have the Boeing 737 MAX 9 by Phoenix in 1:400 scale. I'm really impressed. That nose landing gear threw me for a loop with how elevated it is, but we'll talk about why it is here in a second. But what a model. Really great job by Phoenix here. I'm excited to dive into it. Let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So here's the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. You have the pitot tubes and the 737 MAX titles. Really tall nose landing gear. We'll talk about why here in a second, but very tall nose landing gear. Here's the L1 door, and of course you have the lightest gray shade, and then it goes into this teal color, which looks really nice. I really like it, big fan. Something related to Boeing here, I presume, and then we have the Boeing titles right here. Then of course you got where the first class and everything would be. I don't know on the test aircraft if they have seats. I really don't. I would presume not, but nevertheless looking great. Then you have the antenna on the bottom side. Now I'm presuming that the reason that the nose landing gear is so high up is due to the LEB engine, which is really nicely labeled right here. And also huge shout out to Phoenix. This is literally the perfect leveling here for the engine because it is slightly slanted up in real life, but GeminiJets takes it way out of proportion typically, whether it's intentional or not, and then NG's kind of flat. So I really like this mix here of, okay, we can represent that it does have some elevated angle there, but it's also not way above and beyond. So Phoenix, really great job. I'll buy a Max from you just for that. 737 MAX title, speaking of which, right there you have the antenna, the beacon, really cool cheat lines right there along with that teal color. I really like that design there in the back that has that light blue shade on the lines. That's super cool. The wing detail is great between the flaps, slats, and speed brakes, and you also got the winglets that look really nice on this aircraft. I think it says 737 MAX. I can barely see it, but it looks like it has 737 MAX. If I had to change the house livery, I'd make the gray a little bit darker so you can see what we're doing here, but still very exceptional work here for Boeing rather on the livery, but also Phoenix on the model aircraft itself. Yeah, really good wing here once again. Emergency exit looks great. You have the exit back there, two more antennas, and of course the registration, as I was referring to earlier, November 7379 is it Echo? Yeah, just Echo there. And then, of course, you got the tail there with the 737-9 to represent NAX 9. Really cool, along with the APU horizontal stabilizers. This model really has grown on me. I wasn't expecting to be this in love with it, but man, it is really great. The nose landing gear, I don't think it got bent during transit at all. I guess it's just that elevated. This engine's also really great with regards to how it's tilted up a little bit. Again, the nose landing gear might have got extended a little bit, and I'm even taking it off camera. I don't think it is. I really don't think it got pulled any. I think that's legitimately how high it's supposed to be. I'll be sure to use some reference photos online, but nevertheless, that's absolutely great. Again, really great detail. Phoenix models did a really good job on this. Top of the aircraft, very simple. You got the applicable beacon and antennas, and the bottom also looks really good. You got the 737 MAX tiles there, which is a nice touch, along with the stand hold and everything one could want. Really cool model. Certainly recommend a house model if you don't have one in your collection. They're really nice pieces, especially if you've been to Boeing Field, Payne Field, the Charleston facility for 787, so on and so forth, or even an Airbus one. These are really cool planes to have and really serve a great purpose. One of my biggest purposes in my collection as of late has really been trying to expand the cargo, the internationals, the military, and this certainly counts in those categories. So really cool model here and glad to have it. Alrighty guys, so next we have a real curveball right here. Right here we have the GeminiJets 2 1:400 scale, Braniff International Boeing 747-200 Big Orange. So quite a story with this aircraft. Certainly would not have expected to find that Flight City, I apologize. Flight City takes small parts of collection sales and puts them out for sale, and they had some really cool 747s on this day. And I ended up finding this aircraft for 40 Canadian dollars. That would be about 33 US dollars or something like that. And the fact that I got this for $33 is just, I can't even fathom it, to be quite honest. I would say this aircraft probably goes for more like 100, 150 on eBay would be my guess. I honestly don't know. I haven't looked, but I thought it was too great of a deal to pass up regardless. This is a really cool piece for the collection. Typically, you know, you'd think of the branded 747 SP, but how about 747-200? So let's go ahead and get started. Limited edition 1:400 scale. You have the cinematic box right here. Here's the Braniff International Boeing 747-200 made for collectors by collectors. GeminiJets 2 was a really cool brand. They kind of made some models under the GeminiJets subsidiary, even though it was kind of the same, kind of wasn't. But it was kind of cool to have a different brand there. Again, there's the $40 price tag there. Cosign AK miscellaneous 400. That's their code word for collection sale. Back of the box, you have all the applicable details. It was not damaged when I found it. The suitcase absolutely tanked it, but nevertheless, it still looks really good. About your collectible has all that. Line number 375, and then you got the Pratt & Whitney engines on it, of course, 1980 first flight date, and you got the line number of 375. But how can the delivery date be before the first flight date? I'm trying to figure that out, but nevertheless, this was a 2003 release, so this aircraft's as old as myself, which is just fantastic. So really, really cool. Again, here's the pamphlet with all the applicable detail, and Big Orange is hanging out inside. So we got to see what Big Orange is all about and see how GeminiJets did on this aircraft for 2003. So, of course, most of these plastic cradles, I don't know if they intentionally came yellow, but they've all faded to yellow regardless by this point in 2023. 20 years old, that's stupid. God, that's great. It hit. There we go. But nevertheless, Big Orange, 20 years old, and it's looking like it's brand new. Take a look at that. Alrighty, guys, here we go for the GeminiJets 2 1:400 scale Braniff International Boeing 747-200 this time around. Really unique plane, man. I just can't really fathom the 200 on this livery, but hey, it looks absolutely great. Really great price. Super glad to have it. Really cool, and there is a bunch of really unique attributes to go along with Big Orange. So let's go ahead and get into the details. Alrighty, guys, so here we go. So we got the cockpit windows along with the let's try that again. Cockpit, there we go, not co-pilot, cockpit hatch right there. Sorry about that. Here's the nose cone, and then I think they had first class here. I'm not particularly sure, but they have some sort of seats here. Then you got the nose landing gear and nose landing gear door. Very simple for 2003, but it looks great. L1 door and the L2 door. Really cool to see the orange part get represented here because, of course, you got the one-piece mold, so that looks really nice. Braniff International in a very unique font, so that certainly looks really nice. You got the landing rights right there, and again, those Pratt & Whitney engines. Just crazy to look at this after seeing all the upscale engines like the 350 MAX aircraft, all those. So cool to see that regardless, so that looks really nice. Wing, I think this is my first 747-200. I don't think I have another one. I think this is my very first 747-200. I will get back with all of you if that's incorrect, but I'm pretty... Yeah, okay. I guess I got busted, guys. But nevertheless, this is like my first... It's just weird because I'm used to seeing at least some sort of deal there, but there's nothing, so... Nevertheless, though, I don't have many of these, if any. So very cool to see that, though, regardless. And of course, you got the wing there as well, just looking very nice with the strobes and everything. And of course, you got the flap slats and speed brakes. And then the gear, they don't pivot. They do move a little bit. They do pivot a little bit. It's kind of weird on the 747 mode, but it looks great here for GeminiJets. L3 and L4 door for your economy back here on Braniff. Registration November 602, Bravo November. And of course, you got the orange tail. Boeing 747 labeled there, but you also got the orange horizontal stabilizers, APU, everything. This is literally big orange for a reason. Really cool to see that cheat line for that tan, yellow, whatever. I'm not sure. White. I think it's white. It looks like cream. Yeah. That cream cheat line, very good. Looks really cool. You also got it on the horizontal stabilizers too. So how cool is that? That's sick. Right side of the aircraft, also very standard, but you got the cargo doors right there. Thank you, Dylan, for hanging out in the video. We appreciate that. And again, there's the landing gear. We'll take a better look at that here in a second, but you also got the baggage door there as well, and all the additional applicable details. Top of the aircraft looks really great, nice and simple. What can I say? In the bottom, also looking really good again. Look at that GeminiJets logo, black and silver, quite the duo there. That cream cheat line, or I don't know. Try mustard? I don't know.
I think cream.
Yeah, cream's probably the best. And then, of course, you got the gears moving here, too. So, really cool model. Definitely go get you one if you can find one. Again, just taking advantage of great deals. It's worth it every time. And this is a great example of that. Alrighty, guys. So, next up right here, we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Pan Am Cargo Boeing 747 Freighter. How cool is this model right here? So, how I ended up getting this model is that I have a great friend, Dave, that ended up having a really good friend that unfortunately passed away that had a couple models here. So want to give all my thoughts and prayers to him. Really unfortunate. He lived a great life. He was a really great guy, but unfortunately passed away. So we ended up having these models here, and I'm very honored to continue the legacy of these aircraft. So again, all thoughts and prayers go out to him. Thinking about him while unboxing this great guy. But nevertheless, here we go for the Pan Am Boeing 747 Cargo Freighter right here. Boeing 747 right here, die-cast 1:400 scale model. You got the cinematic box once again, Pan Am, real metal retro jets made for collectors by collectors. I didn't even know this existed until I saw the models, so that's pretty cool. 901 Papa Alpha here for the registration. But again, really neat model here for various reasons. You got the back of the box. First flight was in June of 1971, and I don't know how it didn't get delivered till 1977 unless it went to a different carrier. This also has the Pratt engines. This is a 100 freighter, 123 freighter for that. There is the information, and there it is right there. So this is my first Pan Am model, which is pretty crazy considering that I don't even have a passenger one yet. So the fact that we ended up getting cargo coincidentally is pretty interesting, but what can you do about it? So here we go with the Pan Am Cargo 747 Freighter. Looking very good. Definitely gonna have to get a I thought about the SP when NG did that a couple of years ago, so but at some point I will definitely have to stumble across an actual passenger one. But here it is right here, looking very good. Alrighty, guys, next up right here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Pan Am Cargo Boeing 747 Freighter. Really unique model here. Certainly wouldn't have expected it, especially with the passenger windows and everything, but hey, we can't complain. Let's go ahead and get into the details. Alrighty, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So here's the cockpit windows and the nose cone right here. Of course, passenger windows weren't going to matter because there's not going to be any passengers here. This says Clipper Carrier Dave, I believe. How ironic is that? Very nice. You got the L1 and L2 door where it was for passengers, but now it's cargo. They kept the Pan Am titles, but I think they just added cargo there, non-bolted, so that looks really nice. So big fan of that. There's the metallic, silver, polished underbelly, whichever way you'd like to put it, bare metal underbelly, along with the nose landing gear door. Now, this model was made in 2000, so we're not going to be getting any sort of crazy gimmicks on this one, although we do get some really nice leading edge landing lights there and some really good detail on the underside. Take a look at that. That's really impressive. We'll look at that more here in a second. The Pratt & Whitney engines, of course, looking great, and again, another 747 classic, so we're not going to be seeing too much there for the wing, but certainly nice, especially for the 1970s. There is your L3 door, L4, and then there's where they made the cargo conversion there with that door right there, so that looks very nice. And then, of course, you got November 901 Papa Alpha, Boeing 747F, F for freighter. And then, of course, you got the L5 door along with the one-piece horizontal stabilizer mold. Certainly one of GeminiJets' favorite characteristics for their molds there early in the day. They added cargo to the tail, which is nice, but then, of course, you got the Pan Am and the beautiful United States flag. Right side of the aircraft's also very nice, where you got the cargo door there in the front and the next cargo door along with the baggage door there as well. Really great stuff. Top of the aircraft looks really good. You get some nice details there, of course, and the wings look really nice there. Take a look at that detail. It's really impressive there for 2000. Bottom of the aircraft, huge GeminiJets logo. That's probably the biggest one I've ever seen. Quite a contrast compared to what they're doing today, but look at that detail on the underneath the wing. A very prominent detail. In fact, that's absolutely fantastic. You even got the air inlets making some detail there. This is really impressive for 2000. GeminiJets, really good job on the Pan Am Cargo 747 freighter. This is the last aircraft that I expected to get, but certainly a very nice one at that, and just crazy effort to say the least. Alrighty guys, next in line right here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale El Al Boeing 747-400. This was the last model that I expected to get for El Al, but I'm certainly not complaining. This unfortunately isn't their most latest livery, but this has a spot at the Great Plains International Airport waiting for it, which will be really fun, and I'm certainly looking forward to that, even though it's a little outdated, but wouldn't you say that it's close enough to utilize? So really good for the fictional airport, and just in general, you can never go wrong with the 747-400. So let's go ahead and get into it. Limited edition die-cast scale model aircraft for the trifecta of the conga line of the cinematic boxes continuing here. Thank you, Matt. El Al Boeing 747-400 made for collectors by collectors. Really cool to see this down here. Boeing 707, 717, so on and so forth are trademarks of the Boeing company. That's I've never seen that one before on the box. That's really cool. Registration is 4 X-ray Echo Lima Delta. Nice. Yeah, that's certainly a little complex, just in general, not to a degree there. References and preferences. Here's the back of the box right here. 1999, I forgot about that. What a talent show. So we're going all the way back to the beginning. Very impressive here. It might have to be. We'll see. But getting into this, first flight, this literally rolled out in 1999. So this was in conjunction with the rollout there. That's fantastic. So rollout, first date, and delivery date. So really impressive here. GeminiJets obviously catering to this nowadays when new aircraft get made, but obviously when they're just starting, this was certainly the start of the show at that time. So really cool. Since been retired or scrapped or something, I would presume. I believe we have been retired here, but we're certainly going to live it up for the El Al 744. What a plane, what a talent show. Let's get into the details, everybody. Their livery really hasn't changed that much. They just added that gold right on the tail. So this is honestly close. So let's go ahead, get it out of here, and take a look at the 747-400. Really good effort. I mean, that's fantastic from 1999. This is great. Another big GeminiJets logo. Fly big Delta jets. Alrighty, everybody, you know the drill. So here we go for the GeminiJets 1:400 scale El Al Boeing 747-400 in their old livery. What a good looking aircraft right here. Really great to see that. Sorry about that. Some sort of bird just flew in front of the aircraft, but that's what we're here to see. Love the effort right here. Great looking aircraft. Let's go ahead and get into details of the El Al 747-400. Alrighty guys, here we go. Some very unique attributes. Let's get into it. Got the cockpit windows, windshield wipers, the cockpit escape right there. Then you got some sort of title right there. Can't see it from here, but looking very good. Here's the L1 door along with nose landing gear door. Here's the up door right there for the second level. That's fantastic, really great. Can't see that from the viewfinder, but we got something going on there. This should be El Al right here, so looking very good. They're very bold in getting their billboard titles there, so big fan of that, especially for the time frame. L2 door, and then you got the flag right there along with the navy and silver combined cheat line, looking great. One piece mold, of course, so you really get that detail. Once again, really good detail there on the wing. That's really impressive for this time in 1999. Great looking engines. Those look awesome. Fan blades, certainly, we've made some major progress on that, but certainly a good time to reflect on how much progress we've made in 1:400 scale. There is the winglet there too, and of course flaps, slats, and speed brakes. Great to see flap detail, to be honest. There were some molds that didn't have that, so glad to see that, of course. L3, L4, L5 door, about as basic as it gets, not as real as it gets, as basic as it gets here in the back. Registration 4 X-ray Echo Lima Delta on the 747-400, and of course you got the El Al Tau. Nice and simple. I think it looks really great, along with the horizontal stabilizers back there too, along with the APU. On the right side of the aircraft, of course, you got similar details, but you got the cargo door in the front, cargo door in the back, and the baggage door on the rear. Top of the aircraft, not too much to say outside of the registration right there on the right on the wing, which looks great. And then on the bottom left, we will be seeing the other one there as well, and a big Fly Big GeminiJets logo right there. Fly Big GeminiJets, thank you, along with the air vents. Really impressive model. This is about as basic, simple, great as it gets. GeminiJets killed this one. Really great effort. And let's go ahead and transition into a different realm. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Alrighty guys, bouncing into some different realms. Let's go military and a different brand and a different skill. So we're getting the trifecta effect right here for the Darren postage stamp, whatever it's called. 1 to 150 scale, I believe. SR-71 Blackbird. So really cool model here. So I got this from the Dayton National Air Force Museum. Great place. Highly recommend going. They have let's try that again. 4 full hangars of just absolutely everything military you want. World War II, you know, all the various Air Force Ones. I mean, they have it all. Just really great museum. Couldn't recommend it enough. Great place, and they have a gift shop. So of course, here we go on this. So I bought this in May. So you're probably wondering why this hasn't returned back since May. Well, that previous friend that I was referring to, Dave, so we went to the Air Force Museum, and I was able to leave it with him in Indianapolis until I was able to go back there just to get all these models. So the following models, the ones that I clarified, which were the previous 2 and this one, were there. So I was able, in an upcoming video, you'll see a video on some playing cards, aviation playing cards. That's, you'll see here in a moment. We'll talk about that more, but that ended up, I needed to get that back here, so I ended up flying Southwest home just because I needed a check bag. So that was the main reason. It ended up being 49.5 pounds, so I got really lucky on that. But nevertheless, there'll be a really cool video coming on that. But that's why this didn't get back till then, because I couldn't check a bag because I was flying Spirit and Frontier back on that first IND visit. So of course I wasn't paying $110 for a bag, and I wasn't going to fit in my camera bag. So the best solution was to wait there until another time, and we're finally here on September 1st as of recording. This is probably going to be a late September vid, and nevertheless, here we are for the SR-71. Diecast metal historical airline includes display stand. Here's the aircraft itself, Darren, SR-71 Blackbird postage stamp collection. If you guys remember, not a bad price there either, pretty good. If you guys remember, I ended up getting the American DC-3, and that one certainly was very good too. And apologies, that suitcase just got demolished. Nobody's fault particularly, just kind of did. 2023 release, so brand new. So Dylan was like, you need to go get a pair of scissors, but I got him beat with the Swiss Army knife. Take a look at this. 1, 2, 3. That's all she wrote for that. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Great model right here, and get ready for this effort. Or rather, I say lack of effort, because it might be. We'll have to see. And guess what? Yet another one. Can you believe this? Can you believe it? I got to get that Tulsa update out, by the way. Hopefully that's out by the time this video is coming out. We got to get it out, dude. We're too busy with the day trips. What can I say? Southwest segments. And unboxings, yes. Unboxings are important. Fly big GeminiJets. Good references. References to the preferences. Here we go for the SR-71 here, and it's not wanting to fully come off, so let's delay it by another half second here, because all of you have a half second to spare just for my lack of effort. I'm just kidding. I appreciate everybody's support to the channel, because we got to be funny. We got to make references to the preferences. Here we go for the SR-71 at long last. That's really great. That's great. Oh, the quality on this is actually really impressive in all seriousness. There we go. Nice. Oh, it's 1 to 200 scale. I'm sorry. The other one coming up, so 1 to 150. Alrighty, guys, and here we go for the Darren 1 to 200 scale SR-71. Really impressive effort here. First and foremost, the quality is really impressive. It's not an easy pickup. I mean, sure, you can pick it up a little bit, but it takes some effort. So really impressed by that to start with, but nevertheless, the detail and the build and the look honestly look really great. So let's go ahead and dive into the details. Alrighty guys, so here we go. So here's the nose cone right here, looking very good. Then you have the cockpit windows right here and some sort of warning right there. Again, pretty basic detail, but it does look really solid. You got some good detail underneath we'll take a look at here in a minute. And then of course you got the US Air Force titles and then the flag, which looks really great right there. Then you got some sort of red cheat line, which is really cool. Let me see if I can bring this to this perspective so you can see that a little bit better. So that looks really nice, so big fan of that. And then the 975, would that be like that's the last three of the registration, so that looks very good. Take a look at the engines. Pretty unique stuff right there, very neat. And I've got to see several of these between the Destin Air Force Museum area, and then of course we got to see these at Dayton itself, and they're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. As Chris would do, he would buy that all over the country. But anyways, it's great. You can see the indentations there, all the various grooves, which is nice. Again, registration's 17975. Really cool logo right there. I'm assuming that's like the squadron or something. Not completely sure how that would categorize for SR-71, but squadron, I believe, is the patch there for the kitty cat or whatever that is. Then you got that logo right there, which is great. The exhaust for the engines. Who could have imagined flying one of these? This would have been quite the experience. There's the back there, some really great details. Yeah, quality's great for the price. I'm very pleased, and you can really get a cool view of it looking down like that. Right side also looks really good. No complaints there. Really great effort. You got the USAF on that side too, which is really nice. And let's take some different perspectives on it. Let's make some more references to the preferences. So let's go ahead and zoom out. Top of the aircraft, really good grooves in there. That looks really nice. I like the different pattern designs there, so that's really nice to say the least. So great job on that. In the bottom, about as basic as it gets. You can see where the landing gear would come out in the front there. If that's even, the camera can even pick that up. There you go, you can kind of see the reflection right there. And then the stand, of course, your typical Darren stand, nothing crazy. But yeah, for 43 bucks, you know, you can give or take. It's nice to kind of balance it out between that and the 400 scales for different, if that's kind of what you're interested in. And keep in mind, this is in a retail store, so I'm sure online it would be a better price too. So, you know, you do have to consider that. But nevertheless, very cool. Certainly nice to have it for different, and certainly excited to see how I can utilize it here in the collection for the Blackbird. Alrighty, everybody, next time we have yet another Darren postage stamp collection aircraft. This is going to be the die-cast metal historical airplane. This is going to be the F-18C Hornet Blue Angel. So how cool is this? So this actually starts off our trio of models. I'll just go ahead and bring on the others. I should have did that for the rest of the hulls, but we've been kind of bouncing all around. So Oshkosh, let's talk a little bit about Oshkosh. Dylan, would you like to talk about this a little bit?
MTS Models was there. Visited them a couple times throughout the show, and each day did something new, so this day was one of the better ones, I'd have to say.
Yes, so I'll give the particular story about the two on the left here in a second, but those are just absolutely great. Just couldn't help but bring those in for that initial discussion. But nevertheless, let's talk about this one right here. So here we go for the Blue Angel right here. So DG Pilot had, for the first time, for their first annual booth, had a really awesome showing of various, they had some Darren model aircraft, they had some great t-shirts, I think some bags and some other different items too. But
Master, I think too.
Yes, thank you. They had a great selection of Hobby Master. It was really great, like F-16s, F-18s, F-22s.
F-117 was a good
Yes.
looker.
Heck, they may even had a Blackhawk. I can't remember. Yeah, they had a Blackhawk, I think, too. So a really great lineup of aircraft. And, of course, you know my boy, Donnie. I'll go ahead and insert him talking right now.
Hello, everyone. DG's checking in here live from the DG Pilot Flymark Booth 722, Oshkosh 2023. It's been one great show. Our first year. We're ready to come back even bigger, better, stronger next year. So we brought with us our Red Canoe lineup of apparel. We're a retailer for Red Canoe at Oshkosh. You can also find it online at dgpilot.com, the largest retailer of Red Canoe at Oshkosh. And we have high quality branded aviation inspired apparel. This Boeing B-17 shirt kind of has a vintage look, a vintage inspiration from the original Boeing logo, as well to the Boeing 747, the first 747 shirt. We've got hats, bags, caps, like I'm wearing this Tuskegee Airman hat. We're ready for you guys to come check us out. It's our last day, but you can always shop online 24/7dgpilot.com or visit our store at St. Paul. So great to see Red River Aviation, one of the biggest influences in the community, promoters of aviation, inspirations in the aviation community. We're just so glad to spend some time with him today. So come check us out, and DG's out.
Great to get to see him once again, and expect an Oshkosh recap video along with the full analysis at some point. I don't know when it's going to be. I have probably close to 200 videos that I need to make in the real life category, which is
It's all right.
it's all right. I like that. It's all right.
We're getting there.
At some point it will happen, but nevertheless, what I'm getting to is that it was really great to get to see DG Pilot here, and of course we got our F-18 to represent that. So let's go ahead and get into the details. Again, thank you, DG Pilot. Diecast metal aircraft. Again, here's the aircraft itself: F-18 Hornet Blue Angels. Great to see these at the Tinker Air Force Base show as well. Not quite for Oshkosh this year. That was not quite their gig, so we did not see them there. But who knows? Maybe in the future we'll have to see. Back to the box. I like the back of these Darren boxes. They certainly have quite a bit of creativity to them. This one.
Blueprint's pretty cool.
I do like the blueprint. I completely agree. Great observation there. So let's go ahead and once again, because Darren is Darren, so that they know that it's their full aircraft, let me see if I can do a little bit of that, and then we'll get after it here in a second. And don't worry, I will close the knife upon the completion of getting it out of the plastic, because we learned from the last one that we have to do this. And this is Blue Angel number 1. How that's fantastic. So let's go ahead and see if we can get it in there. It's going to take some effort. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and split it on the other side so we can see the Blue Angel for the very first time. Really great unboxing today. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Great to see all these various stories come together, and we got even more of them, so stay on the lookout for it. I guess that other piece isn't coming out, but take a look at that. Alrighty guys, next in line right here, we have Blue Angel #1 here for Darren in 1:150 scale. Pretty cool model, especially for the price, you know, not too bad, but certainly one to think about. So very glad to get this one. It was down to this in Fat Albert, was it Fat? Yeah, I was down to this in Fat Albert, and I let Donnie from DG Pilot pick once again, and we thought this was the right choice. So no complaints here, glad to see this one. Let's go ahead and get into details. Alrighty guys, so here we go. So here's the nose cone here with the cockpit windows. Really cool to reflect on the canopy here. I guess the canopy is the better term, I apologize. Certainly very cool to get to see that right there. It looks absolutely fantastic. Really neat infrastructure in the design there. I guess it's not really infrastructure, but designing techniques. Of course, you got the Blue Angels and the patch right there. Really cool. I mean, the Blue Angels, I think are the staple. I mean, the Thunderbirds are great, but I think the Blue Angels, when I think about like air shows and everything, I think Blue Angels. So super cool. U.S. Navy right there, and of course, you got the wings. Really great detail there on the, I guess, I don't know if these have slats or what that front part is. I would assume that's a slat, but you got speed brakes and all the great details. You got the some sort of air vent, I would presume, or something like that, along with the top piece there, which is nice. Again, U.S. Navy there on the bottom really just screams United States, to be honest. It's really cool. You have a screw in there, which I think is kind of interesting that the best thing to come to is a screw, but there we go. And then you got #1 right there. It looks really good if you're just glancing at it. If you like put it on your desk and don't really think about like the quality. Like quality-wise, it's not going to be top tier, but I mean, what could you expect for $30? It's certainly solid, and that's MSRP too, so it's probably like more like 24 online or something like that. Again, 1:150 scale. I'm sorry, it's getting stuck in my hand. Postage stamp models, again, all that fun stuff. The exhaust pieces are certainly don't try to look at them because they certainly don't look as good as the actual plane itself, but you know, what can you do? Right side of the aircraft's also great. Got the Blue Angels, all that applicable detail. I think the yellow cheat line's certainly nice. It's not like there's anything just, you know, I'm just like, holy crap about this, but you know, it's solid. If you just look at it from the back perspective like this, you're like, dang, this is pretty good. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Again, really cool on the top, some very good details. In the bottom, you got the screw like I was referring to. That's the catch piece, so that's certainly cool, and all the various details. So is it gonna blow you away? Absolutely not. It's not like the 1-200 that GeminiJets did, but is it certainly nice to just sit here and admire? I would say so. I think it looks really nice, but I would certainly lean towards the 1-72 Gemini Ace, I believe is how they categorized it. If you are looking for a really top tier one, but if you're on a budget and want to represent the Blue Angels, then Darren's going to be for you. Alrighty guys, next in line right here, we have the Phoenix models, 1-400 scale, Azul, Airbus A330 900 Neo in the, this is their breast cancer awareness livery, right? Yes, breast cancer awareness livery. So really cool story for this one. So let's go ahead and get into it. So that previous story that I was referring to, a Spirit and Frontier coming home from Indianapolis, would you mind bringing the chair out of the sun, please, so we can keep our, you're so big on lighting and you're going to block my light. Complete lack of effort. Apologies. Back to the story though.
Okay, guys.
So we were in Orlando during that absolute crazy thunderstorm. I guess not crazy, but major thunderstorm, right? And that Frontier flight got delayed so long. So right before we were getting ready to board, here comes this beautiful pink plane just taxiing in, and I'm just like, wow, this is absolutely fantastic. Turns out to be Azul's Airbus A330 Neo. And okay, so we were walking into MTS Aviation Models. They had a vendor table, or vendor booth, I should say, in the Fly Mail. Is that what they called it? Yeah. Fly Mart. Yeah, the Fly Mart section, right? So we walk in there, and they're very good at having their prices, you know, at MSRP for the majority of their items. They're more specialized in 1-200, especially in-flight models. But they have a 1-400 section that typically is pretty reasonable. So we start going on our deep dive. I would almost call it a dumpster dive with how much we were trying to find some good deals. And lo and behold, this stumbled across, and 50? Was it $50?
50,
which is cool. And they also did a cool discount code. If you saw their video on social media, they gave you another 15% off. So this ended up being a really great deal. I was super happy about it. And again, I saw the aircraft, great planes, just, you know, just in general, you know, this summer with all the various elements. So
they added this later on in the show too. We didn't see this the first or second.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So we went over there on Tuesday while I had a break, and I don't remember seeing it, period. I think we even looked pretty hard, and I don't remember seeing it, period. But then this came about, and I was like, that's all she wrote. There was a couple other aircraft that I really wanted to, but I was like, if we're getting down to it, it's this one then the next one.
The
so
TWA 744.
I told you to buy it, dude. I told you to buy it because I was like, I'm not doing any more than 2. I've already bought enough. I think 2. You know, TWA 747 is great. The price, the price was elite. $50 for that. It was a 747 100 elite price. But nevertheless, we will make we'll keep it rocking here with the Azul A330neo in the breast cancer awareness livery. A330neo, here's the aircraft, Azul registration Papa Romeo Alpha November Victor. So I'm thinking this is my second A330neo behind Delta Team USA, although I will be getting the standard livery, and I may have another Neo somewhere. I also need to get Condor after seeing that. Got to get Condor, the green one. But yeah, Phoenix always does a really good job. Yep, $49.99, silly, stupid stuff. And the discount too, but limited edition, really great. Definitely stay on the lookout for MTS Aviation models plus DG Pilot if you're going to Oshkosh next year. And I know for sure DG Pilot will be at Airlines International 2024 in Kansas City. So definitely stay on the lookout for them there. And I'm sure MTS Aviation models may be there too. So stay on the lookout. But nevertheless, MTS, also great storefront in Dayton, Ohio. I'll put some more B-roll on that. Really cool. Highly recommend checking it out. It's great. But nevertheless, it is time to unbox the Azul 330 Neo. And Dylan, huge thank you for bringing this, the AirTran plus the Blue Angel back because, let's see here.
Carry on.
I'm trying to remember why okay, so at Oshkosh, yeah. Okay, so at Oshkosh, right? They have all these airlines.
Freebies.
Yeah, they give you just all these freebies. So I was up to 2 full bags. Yeah. I had 2 full bags of freebies, and it was toast. There was no way it was fitting to carry on. So it's like, because Dylan drove up there for his internship that he did this summer. I was like, Dylan, will you please take this home for me? Because he was a couple weeks behind me. So obviously I went back, and then his internship ended first week of August. Yeah, 2 weeks later. And then he went to Omaha to visit his grandparents for a week. And then we finally met back up for Aviation Day, and we ended up getting the items, and we're already 2 weeks in the school. Seriously? Yeah, 2 weeks in the school, and we're finally here to unbox this. So thank you, Dylan. Very much appreciate it.
No problem.
Very perfect sequence of events. If it came down to it, I would have left the freebies or carried it on or whatever, but paid for a checked bag, the suitcase that I didn't have to use on that, left my clothes, whatever. But luckily, I had an alternate solution. And
you would have been carrying those on that CRJ2 one. Let me tell you about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the trip report. All right.
Wow.
Yes and yes. Alrighty guys, and here we go for the Phoenix 1:400 scale Azul Airlines Airbus A330-900 Neo in the breast cancer awareness livery. Yes and yes, no more explanation needed. What a model. Here we go. Alrighty guys, so here we go. So here we have cockpit windows along with the mask, which I think is one of the coolest parts of the Neos. Got something here, can't see it, but we got some panels. It looks like South America would be a place to visit, that's for sure. Here's the L1 door with some handles and all that fun stuff. November Victor, I'm presuming, is the last 2 letters of the registration prefix. Here's the nose landing gear. The Phoenix models are just so interesting with that nose, the nose landing gear piece, how it's so metallic, but I think it looks kind of cool for different. You got the Azul billboard titles. Really cool to see the appropriate sized antenna and the SATCOM Wi-Fi. Which box is the first? I've never been able to figure it out.
The Wi-Fi box?
Or is that the Wi-Fi box, or is that the SATCOM box?
The front might be the SATCOM box.
Okay, the front's probably, I have no idea. The front
Wi-Fi
might be.
is probably the back.
That's what I'm thinking, but nevertheless, it's some sort of box. Yeah, really cool with the pink too. I think it's a nice shade of pink. The undercarriage, of course, you got the green sheet line, and instead of the navy, you have the pink, which is great. L2 door, you got Brazil with their flag. That's just fantastic in general. Two-piece mold looking really good. You can see that. FlyAzul.com. You got the engine there. Great fan blades. That looks really great. The Neo engines they're really built different, to be honest. They're massive. You have the exhaust there too, along with the rear landing gear, which do not tilt on this particular airframe. You do have the flap slats and speed brakes though. Take a look at that wing piece there. Really nice. That's fantastic.
Good wing lift.
Of course, a little bit of gap there on the wing, but no problem there. L3 door, the narrow one for the 330s, of course. How about 3 antennas right there? 4 of them, actually counting the one behind the supposed Wi-Fi box, whatever that may be. Certainly interesting there to see the green wingtip. I thought for sure they would do pink on that, but hey, it does kind of break it up a little bit, so I am a fan. I like it. Here's the L4 door along with the registration of Papa Romeo Alpha November Victor, so my nose landing gear door presumption was correct. South America making the debut with the pink background along with the yellow and green sheet lines to finish it off with the horizontal stabilizers and the APU. Taking a look at the right side of the aircraft, you're not going to see too many differences besides that really small little chubby antenna. That's really impressive detail right there, along with some cargo doors, and that's pretty much all she wrote outside of some more. Look at that really stubby one down there. That is really impressive. That's fantastic. That's great. Really nice job right there. Really good. Top of the aircraft looks really good. Nice job here. That's really, really nice. And even the beacon too. It's impressive. Look at all those antennas on the bottom. I mean, that's just That speaks for itself. And you got the Brazil flag, nice and proud. That's great. And including the stand hole. And take a look at the Papa Romeo Alpha November Victor, just really cool details, and the bumps on the engines. Phoenix, this mold is great. This is my first Phoenix A330 Neo, and I'm certainly not going to be getting more of them because this is absolutely majestic. Great job, really good effort. Let's bounce into the next Phoenix model. Alrighty guys, next in line right here we have the Phoenix models, 1/400 scale, AirTran Boeing 717 in the Orlando Magic livery. What a twist of events right here. Alright, so we have a bunch to digest, so let's go ahead and get started. First off, Phoenix 717. Really oddball. They only made a couple models. It was this one, the Midwest 717, just really weird. But nevertheless, here we go. Again, you find the craziest models at the craziest places. This time, MTS and Oshkosh. Pretty crazy stuff. So that's number one. Number two, first AirTran model. Never would have expected it. Never would have predicted it. Never would have did this. La-di-da, you know, same deal. But here we are. I thought it was going to be a normal livery, but it's going to be Orlando Magic. So, yeah, that's the next best part of this. And number three, the price on this was ridiculous. I can't believe I got it for what we got. And another major note here, too. I would have thought it would have been Gemini. I thought it would have been a Gemini, Atlanta Falcons, Baltimore Ravens, one of those. But no, it's going to be a Phoenix Orlando Magic AirTran 717. Stupid stuff. All right. Enough of my analysis. Let's go ahead and get started. Boeing 717 with the TM. You get the glow around the aircraft, which is really cool. AirTran registration November 949 Alpha Tango. Phoenix has always been known to do some U.S. aircraft just on a hit or miss basis, and this is certainly one of them, representing the NBA basketball team for the Orlando Magics in Orlando, Florida. Here's the back of the box. Limited edition. Heart of the Aviation. $60. Stupid stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's went for a little bit less than that on eBay over the years at times, but still, that's a great price for this, and way too good of an opportunity to pass up. Let's go ahead and get into the details. And Orlando Magics, what a stunning aircraft. That's really clean. It's pretty filthy, in fact. Actually, look at that. Oh my gosh, the dust. Yikes. Alrighty, everybody, next up right here, we have the Phoenix models, 1/400 scale AirTran Boeing 717-200 in the Orlando Magic livery. Yes and yes, no further explanation. It's time. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Here's the cockpit windows along with the anti-glare piece. Then you got the I don't know if that's the registration or what that is down there. Can't see it, but looking good, whatever it may be. And then you got the nose cone, nose landing gear. My gosh, the nose cone was really gravitated my eyes. I can't tell if it's correct or not. It's kind of hard to see from this angle. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Here's the L1 door. You got the handles and all that. Boeing 717-200, and of course, AirTran has some first class. So you're gonna find that in this really beautiful dark navy blue, or not really navy, but just really nice rich blue color to start out right here. Got the AirTran font, really interesting with the capital A and capital T, and the cursive for the air and the normal for the font. That's like Times New Roman or something like that, but nevertheless looks really good. And then, of course, some sort of economy plus, I think, but maybe not. And then economy. Actually, was AirTran all economy? I think
they might have been.
They might have been. I apologize. Never got to fly AirTran. Just got to see them only twice. But of course, you're representing that basketball right here. So that's where you're getting this part right here with the star and everything. Get it? Orlando Magic. Oh, so funny. Anyways, here's the... Alrighty, guys, so as you can see, sorry about the camera battery pack dying. There's the emergency exit right there and the slide, along with the flap slots and speed brakes. Main landing gear look good. Phoenix here with the one-piece mold, so quite the effort. There's the Orlando Magic there on the beautiful GT8D. I believe that's what it is. Looking very good. Registration November 949 Alpha Tango. And of course, sorry about that. Didn't mean for the chair to hit the tripod, but it happens to the best of us. Here's the some more panels, and you have 791 right there, I think is what that says. Can't see it, but I'm assuming that's the fleet code. And then, of course, the Orlando Magic logo. So that encompasses a basketball and what looks like magic kind of coming across, which is really nice. Surprised they didn't do more blue back there on the you know, where the APU is and everything in that back aft section, but nevertheless looks solid and certainly very noteworthy, along with the one-piece horizontal stabilizer too. Right side of the aircraft's also very good. You have the R1 door there, much smaller. It looks kind of nice, chubby, and cute, so that's great. Along with the 2 baggage doors there, so that looks great. And we just love the effort in general, not to a degree, just in general on that one. Top of the aircraft looks great. You got the really cool red dots there, so that looks really nice. In the bottom, of course, you got the Phoenix logo. Nothing too crazy besides the colors meshing. That looks really nice, so that's really good. Really cool model right here. Very unique one for Phoenix to make. I'm really surprised to stumble upon this one, but certainly very glad to add it to the collection. Certainly wasn't expecting for it to be my first airtrain aircraft, but at some point I would certainly love to get a complement normal livery. Probably 737 now that we have a 717 in the fleet, but can't go wrong with the DC 995. So I mean, what can I say? Although, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so cool that Delta took these over and now it's running with them all the time. It's just absolutely great. So really cool plane and glad to have it. Alrighty guys, next up right here we have the Gemini 200 1:200 scale American Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the chrome livery. Okay, this one was certainly probably the most unexpected of the whole summer. So rolling into Calgary, 5:30 a.m. whatever it was, I can't remember. It was what it was. Rolling in, getting ready for the United flight because we were originally going to do Lynx to Las Vegas, but Lynx decided to change our day airline, and that's all she wrote for that. So we changed our tickets to United, got a decent deal, worked out fine, and we're getting ready to go to O'Hare on the United 320. Well, we're rolling into the international terminal. We're just rolling in, and we end up going straight into I see a bunch of stores here, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see a bunch of Skymarks boxes. I mean, I'm not talking a few, I mean a full-on army. I'll put a picture here. Full-on army, and I'm like, and then I see the Gemini 200s line up, and I was like, oh, that's it. So roll into the store here, and everything's pretty much new stock and a couple of exceptions, this one included. Most of them pretty reasonably priced. Some of them were a little high. So I decided, I was like, this is the one I would want if there was any. They had a really good selection again. A little overpriced on most of the new stuff, but really good selection. Who's in the zoo at Calgary Airport International Terminal 2. Great stuff. Roll in, ask how much this was. Believe it was 130 Canadian, which comes out to about 100 US. So this model is worth quite a bit. Really great model, and I was like, yep, no question. I've been trying to get it for quite some time, to be honest. But finally, here we go, a Chrome 737 and 200 scale from Calgary International Airport. So you bet that I was carrying this all the way back, and that's exactly what I did. You have the 2018 20th anniversary logo. Of course, this year is 25, so how cool is that? So very cool to see that. New American Airlines Billboard titles. Let me know in the comments whether you like to see the affiliated livery with the logo for the Billboard titles on the boxes, or whatever they currently have. I personally think the chrome would have been nice here, but I get what they're trying to do here since it was released during that time frame. Boeing 737-800 1:2 scale diecast model aircraft. Item numbers G2AAL 769. Of course, you got the various elements of the box. Looking very good right there. And then the back, again, 2018 release. I remember when this came out, I really wanted to get it. Was on a budget. If it would have been 2 or 3 years into the future, I probably would have. But hey, what can you do? That's all she wrote. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. You have the tripod stand. We're not going to get that out. That's just no and no. But yes and yes to the aircraft inside. Take a look at that. That's fantastic. Alrighty, everybody, here we go for the Gemini 200 1:200 scale American Airlines Boeing 737-800, and this aircraft, of course, in the chrome livery. Sure, this isn't the best 1:200 mold I've ever seen, nor is it, you know, in the perfect condition. I'll kind of explain what I'm talking about here in a minute, although it's really close. Really good looking aircraft. So glad to have it. Been on the hunt for this one for so long. Great plane and a really good price. All for it in all various elements. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and get started. So here's the nose cone right here, along with the cockpit windows. Of course, you got the great piece down here, which certainly really interesting for the chrome livery, along with the gray underbelly. I just can't really fathom it, but you know, it's all good. One of the unfortunate parts about this mold is the big nose landing gear door. It's just way big, but you know, what can you do about it? You do have it here along with the nose landing gear. 3 kg. This is the retro aircraft 921 Alpha, or November that is. Here's the L1 door along with the One World logo. You get some really great detail there, encompassing of course the window there along with the handle. All the great detail. It's really nice. That looks absolutely fantastic. And here you go for the first class here, along with the American Airlines Billboard titles, which looks great. You have the antenna down there, and then of course main cabin etch in the main cabin. A really great livery. It's, you know, got so used to looking at that standard one that don't really even think about the stripes and all that anymore. So really nice to reflect on this. This is really solid effort. And really weird to see that gray part, but what can I say? Certainly glad to have the chrome livery at the very least. And finally, 321 registrations announced for the retros to come back on, even though America West still is floating around, which is pretty crazy. You got 3D beacon along with the antenna. Then you got the mist windows here, which is what they are, along with the emergency exits. And then you got the slide right there. Then you got the slats for the flap slats, the speed brake detail, and the landing gear just kind of bouncing all around right there. But yeah, big winglets right here. So that certainly looks really nice. And then, and they don't have 88.com. That's the other big, like, what the heck on this livery. But everything else is really solid. But looks really good. And again, landing gears on some of the Gemini 200s can be hit or miss. This one is certainly a miss. You can also see a little bit, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look in some areas here, you can see there's a little bit of tarnishing, which is certainly unfortunate. I'm going to work to try to improve it, but that was the only slight defect. I even asked if I could have a little bit of a discount for that. It may have already been discounted for that. The lady there said that she does not determine the prices, so what can you do? But you have the antennas, of course, all the various details. And then, of course, you got the rest of the main cabin. The stubby antenna, November 1991, November, L2 door, and the American Airlines billboard titles in conjunction with the horizontal stabilized APU, all that fun stuff, looking really great. Right side of the aircraft also looks really good. You got the baggage door right there, so that certainly looks really nice, very good. Even though it's gray, which again, kind of can't fathom it, but you know, you can really see the tarnish there. It's got some work. I'm gonna have to work on it, but you know, it'll get fixed at some point. And the American logo, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be crooked, but it certainly is in this case. So, but that's all good because it happens to the best of us, right? Top of the aircraft looks really good with the beacon and all the applicable details. Really good wing detail. That's really nice. Bottom of the aircraft, you got the GeminiJets logo. All the above looks really nice. That's really great. Really cool model. Very glad to finally knock this one out. It's certainly not completely ideal. In a great world, I would have loved to get one 2008 releases with the great mold and everything. But for the price, circumstance, situation, special sentimental value, sure, A+, knock it out of the park. Here we go. Thank you, the White. Citrus Aviation coming in clutch. Okay, here we go. So, the White texted me, and he said, hey, dude, I have these two models right here that I bought at Airliners because I expressed interest. I sarcastically said at Airliners when he had them in his hands. I was like, dude, I would love to buy those from you, dude. And he made an offer there and then. I was like, I don't want to be that kind of guy to you. But then he followed up with me like a month later, and he's like, dude, would you actually like to buy these? And I was like, and he said, quote, I will fly non-rev to Tulsa to hand deliver them to you. I was like, yeah, dude, if you want to come on down and get after it. And he offered a really good price. And I was like, sure, dude, absolutely. You're more than welcome to. So before you knew it, between quite the story, we're going to save his story for a different time. We'll talk about that later and how he almost missed some flights. But between all of that and barely only making it to Tulsa due to a no-show on the Dallas to Tulsa flight, here they are. So I certainly got them, and yes, some really great deals here. So we got an American MD-80 by JetX, which very excited about that. Can't never have too many of those, so got really lucky with that. And the American 737-800 in the normal livery, which I'm really excited to have. I know I already have one, but it'll be great to have another. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get started with JetX. Alrighty, guys, and here we go for the JetX 1:400 scale American Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD-82 JetX polish. So you guys may remember the video that I did not only on this one, dating back to 2017, yes, crazy, but also I did an American Airlines collection video of all the MD-80s that I had, or not collection, but rather a comparison video, and this was also in there too. So really great to have another one. Thank you, Citrus, appreciate it very much, man. Check out his channel, great videos that he's been making, and yeah, very good. So here we go. Here's the American titles. Here's the see-through MD-82. The other JetX box I have actually doesn't have the full plastic, so glad to get the full plastic back. Also really cool how they mark it there for the registrations. I do have 5, 7, 4, 8 on the shelf too. Got that in 2020, so glad to have that. Yeah, he got a really good deal on this Texan Airplane store, I believe, so good effort. And JetX, yeah, really great deal. This normally goes for like 150, 200 fairly regularly, so yeah, certainly interesting with the kind of stubby MD-80 there, but we'd love to see it. We can't complain. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. It's been a while since we've done some Mad Dog talk, and I need to get the video ready for the 4-year retirement anniversary. Dang. All right. Anyways, yeah, so this is, no, it's on Monday, September 4th. September 4th. Oh, and Sunday was the 4-year anniversary to the last flight into Tulsa. So, oh, man, the polish on this one's absolutely kick. Sorry. Feel free to censor that. Golly. Alrighty, guys, so here we go for the JetX 1:400 scale American Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD-82 polish. No introduction needed. Let's go. Alrighty guys, so here we go. So here we have the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. You got the gray piece right there. You got the nose landing gear, L1 door, everything that one could want. The ladder, just great stuff. The polish looks amazing. The American Airlines fuselage, first class, economy plus, economy, just looks great. Just take a look at the reflections there. You got plenty of panels, great detail on JetX for that time. Just really, really great. Then of course you got the emergency exits right there along with the escape hatch. Then you got the slats, flaps, and speed brakes, the strobe, got the main landing gear, all the applicable details. You got the L2 door right there, just beautiful plane. I'm not trying to rush, by the way, but the light's going quick here. You got the JT8Ds, do anything to do one more time on that, but I already had that, so I'm very appreciative and thankful for it. Registration November 442 Alpha Alpha. You got the tail right there, the US flag, I mean, speaks for itself. You got the 2 baggage doors right there, 1 in the back. We'll do a quick top down here. Just absolutely silly stuff. And Dylan's he's working on some models over there. Top's looking great. Love the flap slats and speed brakes, and the bottom just amazing. Stand hole, all that fun stuff. Great model, really great. Lighting's going quick, so we're just going for a full transition, which here we go. All right guys, so here we go for the next American 737-800. Excited to have another one. It will be a great addition to the collection. We've seen the box before. We kind of just did it. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and get into the details. How about a psych, everybody? Got every one of you. Thank you, Citrus. First in-flight 200 is going to be the TWA Retro 737. Yes and yes. Been trying to get a in-flight 200 737 for a very long time now. Thank you, Citrus. Really appreciate it, dude. This is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's just effort in general, but just to a degree. I mean, oh my goodness. My God. Oh my God. The TWA is always the best. Man. Great references to go along with it right here. I mean, this is A tier. This is amazing. Let's go ahead. S tier. I love it. Let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Get the nose cone right there. Really good job by in-flight right here, and just the quality. Look at the nose landing gear door and the separation there. That's just great. 3 kilo alpha on the 738. L1 door right here, along with the American Airlines billboard titles. If I can get it in focus for all of you, just amazing detail. One World logo, they got the window, all the same details that we talked about. Antennas are properly sized on this one, so that's a really great attribute of it. Just take a look at it, man. Along with that, you got the stubby antenna. The CFMs are perfectly leveled and they're nice sized. It's just amazing. Look at the 3D beacon and the antenna, the overwing exit. It's a really firm, heavy aircraft too. That's just great. And then of course you got the flap slats and speed brakes. The winglet looks amazing. Look at the curvature of the winglet. That's A tier. That's absolutely amazing. Great job there. The TWA cheat lines, I mean, it just speaks for itself. We'll probably do a more in-depth video on this one, by the way, guys. November 915, November. Of course, you got the stubby antennas. I mean, just elite detailed in-flight 200 logo. And then, of course, you got the L2 door, the other stubby antenna, the TWA logo. I mean, just yes and yes and yes. The nut right side, I don't need to elaborate. I think it kind of speaks for itself at this point in the video. It's absolutely amazing. Just stupid stuff. Oh, God, apologies. I just can't believe that I actually have this now. I've been trying to get it for so long. Beautiful plane. Look at the detail on the bottom. That's just the icing on the cake with that. Oh my gosh. Really great stuff. It's time to line all this up and do the summary because yes and yes. Alrighty guys, take a look at Massive Unboxing number 37. Oh my goodness, let's go ahead and take a look. You got the American Airlines MD-80 in the chrome polish. Great model, never going to get over that. Glad to have 2 of them now, thank you Citrus. The AirTran 717-200, speaking of Citrus, really impressive effort right here. Citrus, the call sign, by the way, not actually Citrus Aviation, but really cool aircraft. Can't believe I got an MTS out of all places, and really cool story for that one. That was great. Pan Am Cargo 747 Freighter, very cool plane to add to the collection. It will be a very unique piece, to say the least. That Azul is certainly one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, that is really impressive effort. Good job, Azul. That is really cool. And of course, the 737, or this right here, this is the Flight City pair. Look at that. They're the triad, the Conga line, as they would say. Really cool to get the 737 MAX represent Boeing and Everett Field. That's super great. The Air Canada CRJ 900, they represent the region, of course. And the Braniff International 747-200. That's really special. Really cool to see that, especially after all that in Vancouver. That's awesome. That's super great. TWA 737, that will be great. We will certainly do a more in-depth video on that since we kind of rushed the video for the light, but it was certainly worth it. So thank you all for bearing with me on that. U.S. Air Force SR-71, yes and yes. Don't need to explain that one too much. That's really cool. Who's in the zoo at Calgary Airport coming in clutch for the Chrome 737. Very cool plane. Very cool way to get it. Love the effort. The Blue Angel #1, very cool plane. Thank you, DG Pilot. Really appreciate that. And of course, the LL 747, beautiful model. Very glad to have it. It will serve volumes here in the collection. So let me know which one's your favorite in the comment section. I'll be eager to hear. Very pleased with this unboxing. I hope you guys are as well. Dylan, any final words going into the summary of today's video?
Definitely a good squad. I gotta say this TWA and American Chrome are definitely the standouts.
I think they certainly stand out like a sore thumb too, and Big Orange, but all of them. Azul, Pan Am Cargo, those are all absolutely fantastic. LL, you name it. But nevertheless, everybody, that'll do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.